need to be extracted from the tech side, from the tech life, and to be more implied in social actions, because social actions could be innovative if the city is using the technology to bring people in the same place at the same time, to organize gathering for children and for their teachers and for people in different spaces, green spaces in the cities, and to have that joy of them to be together in an different kind of actions. Also, there are workplaces for innovation and design and creativity, and we are focused in this particular side on what we are speaking about in this webinar, about Gradinescu, about our project. I will talk about it a little bit later. But to finish my thoughts about these new approaches within the Metamorphosis project, we tried in Alba Iulia to get the people to know their city, but not by car, but by bicycles, by food, by organizing meetings with them in the nature, by organizing events where they are the main actors. One of these events was last year in the week of mobility, when we gathered a lot of children, and they effectively took the power of the city traffic, and we closed a very big and important street in Alba Iulia, and for, let's say, half a day that street was a place only for people, especially for children. Another target of the project, another target of the innovations that this Metamorphosis project is bringing to people's life, is the connection of urban gardening with the community. Is the connection and the creation of this specific space where people can meet, discuss, relax, and grow things in this urban garden, in order to create a more involved community and more involved children in bringing the green part of the city back into the city. As expected impacts of these ideas and actions would be a new organizational and governance concept. We are talking very much in our smart city pilot project, and right now in a real smart city project developed at the municipality level about e-governance. But e-governance cannot be made only by technology. E-governance without people, without engagement of the people, without the engagement of the future of the city, the children, e-governance is only technology. And this project is somewhere in the middle of the dialogue between the municipality and the people, through some tech, through some apps, or through some instruments related to technology, in order for the municipality to reduce the space in this concept, in this e-governance concept, to reduce the space between people, administration, and the city. Of course, Another expected impact is to change the planning process of the city. So the planning process of the city is very important, because this is a participation for of the citizens in the city planning. And the Gradinescu project, I will start immediately to speak about it. The Gradinescu project is doing this exact thing. It reduces the spaces between the community and the municipality, and propose a form of city planning dedicated exclusively to children and exclusively to leisure space. Maybe I can share the presentation right now about, and I will start to talk about our project, Gradinescu, within the Metamorphosis project. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see it? Okay. I think I already talked about metamorphosis, but starting to talk about the Gradinescu network, I would say that in Alba Iulia, Gradinescu network brought a new approach for the children in the schools to grow, to harvest vegetables and flowers and other things in this specific garden, and to see the whole process, of harvesting something. I know in Romania we are not at the point where the children's have no countryside, maybe to go in the summer holidays and to see how to see agriculture and to see what their grandfathers and grandmothers are doing from the spring to autumn. But there are a part of children that don't have grandparents, and this project, Gradinescu, is opening them, their perspective, their minds, to imply more and more in bringing the green spaces and the harvesting spaces of the cities back into the cities. Gradinescu is about gardens and community. It's about children's. It's about people and gardens and harvesting green things and harvesting vegetables and flowers. It's about food and a sustainable kind of living that we are presenting to them, and we are implying them from the starting point in the spring to the end point in autumn, where they when they are effectively take the results of their work over the year, and the joy on their faces by seeing what they grew in this garden is, I don't know, there are no words to express their satisfaction in autumn when they are harvesting what they when they are harvesting the seeds they put in the spring. The Gradinescu project also is developed at national level and aims to cultivate local solutions to global problems in urban and community gardens, of course. And Gradinescu in Alba Iulia is a model of urban regeneration that exemplifies how system of permaculture and education and the circular economy, energy and food could be creatively combined in a network of urban gardens. So it's very important to focus on the energy the children are bringing into the city life within this kind of project, within this kind of green project. Caring for the land and for the people is a new and nowadays an innovative concept because we are creating and Gradinescu is creating this community space where the city and the municipality and the community they are able to create a new lifestyle, a greener lifestyle where people can work together, can learn and innovate and relax. A lot of events are happening in the Gradinescu Garden in Alba Iulia Citadel, and everybody is expressing their joy because it's a very beautiful place and a very relaxing area of the Citadel, and everything is so natural in there, and everybody is very happy that this particular space is not invaded by pollution, by destructive people, by destructive ideas. So Gradinescu Project is trying to take the permaculture within let's say polluted city, because Alba Iulia, as other cities in Europe and in our country, is a polluted city. These permaculture initiatives are trying and aiming to produce spaces where you can really feel unpolluted by cars and by anything else in the city. The urban garden in Alba Iulia also proposes an urban planning development, but it's a pilot. It's a starting point to try to influence somehow the community, and then of course the municipality, because the initiative is municipalities, to start creating spaces within the city where community is let's say the artisans, where people are the artisans of these spaces. Being a space structured in 4 areas dedicated to different, for example, orchards in which there is also a space for events, outdoor projection screen, social garden, educational garden, vegetables, and the other spaces. These segments of the gardening are very important because are addressing different kind of people within the community. The harvesting part is dedicated to children, the leisure part is dedicated to stressed people, let's say, and to people who wants to spend some good time in a non-polluted area, in a green area. And for example, from this year on, underneath the Gradinescu Garden will be an innovation hub, a smart living lab, where almost 350 youngsters will learn the basics of technology, the basics of digitalization. So this place will be very attractive and a very well positioned space for them also. There are right now in the Gradinescu space about 40 fruit trees, 10 trees and 120 shrubs and over 70 perennial aromatic plants. In some events that happened in there, the I'm missing the word. The custodian of this space organized some evenings with food, with sustainable food, harvested only in this place, and it was a very successful event because a lot of people had the occasion to see what is really happening in the Gradinescu space, and they effectively eat a sustainable food and saw how sustainable food can be the food for the future. Starting in spring of 2019, another program of educational events and workshop and film screening and outdoor activities, community garden will happen. Approximately 90 activities have been carried out already, with the number of participants being over 2,000 people involved, from which 2,100 were children. Gradinescu Alba Iulia is also, as I said, an innovative framework for creating sustainable ways of living. And people already tried this within our Metamorphosis project. And it's a practical method to develop ecologically harmonious and efficient and productive systems that can be used by anyone, anywhere. So this pilot project developed within Metamorphosis project is to be replicated, has this ability to be replicated in any city in our country and in Europe, because it's a model of creating a space for the community, creating a space with sustainable things for the community. And by thinking carefully about the way we use our resources, food, energy, shelter, and other materials and non-materials, I think Gradinescu is a place when you can be the part of the joy of that city that puts a lot of accent on their green parts, on their green spaces. Because green spaces in this area of, in this age of pollution, are very, very important, and are like islands of fresh air and fresh people and fresh minds and sustainable minds, concentrated minds to develop a more a community with with a bigger engagement within the life of the city. Permaculture also demonstrate that we as people, as citizens, can be more productive with less efforts, and we can be more implied in the life of the city within and with our powers and with our initiatives. Because anybody who would come to the municipality and propose some idea for this project can be implemented and should be implemented within the Gradinescu project and area, because we want people to be more engaged with what municipality is doing, with the municipality's initiatives. And in particular, being very, very open to people initiatives, we think that we can create more and more spaces like Gradinescu within the area of the city, and to promote more and more the idea of sustainable life, starting with the children, of course. In essence, this is in fact, this is the essence of permaculture concept. The design of an ecological sound way of living in our households, in our gardens, in our communities, and why not in our businesses and in our cities, city administration. It is created, this atmosphere is creating by cooperating with nature and caring for the earth and for the people, for the children especially. Of course, permaculture encourages us to be resourceful and self-reliant. It is not a dogma or a religion, of course, but is an ecological design system which help us to find solutions for a better living and for problems that we are still having because of anything and everything that is happening at the city level. Permaculture is ideal for teaching ecology, of course, because we are talking about children and they have a space where they can see for real the effects of ecology. Learning is one, but seeing it and living it is very important, because um, I think that we have to start changing the world and changing the way of thinking with our children. Okay, we have some pictures from there, from Gradinescu Project. You can see in the right corner where children are harvesting onions, and in the left corner you can see some kind of event that we involve a lot of children in a very important place in Alba Iulia Citadel. And these in these slides we managed to structure some ideas about the concept of permaculture. Permaculture is an element, is a concept that fosters empathy in the first line, and advocacy. And permaculture always begins with an assessment of here and now, and how to start to be more greener, to be greener, to be more sustainable, and to be more involved in the social life of the community. Permaculture is about growing, of course, your own food with an ecological design that works with the people, and was created by bringing together knowledge from agriculture, ecology, architecture, science, technology, why not, and is guided by a set of 3 ethics: earth care, people care, and fair share. Of course, permaculture is a holistic and living in harmony with nature worldview, and I think that if we can implement this kind of ideas in the little minds of the children, we can have a brighter future and we can have greener cities. On the last slide, of course, we have some pictures also from different events, also from the garden. A beautiful picture of our aerial view of our citadel in Alba Iulia, and the data of our presentation. My colleague Christina, is the local coordinator of the project METAMORPHOSIS. He does the project management, and she brought all these things together in order to express our initiatives and to disseminate what we are doing within the METAMORPHOSIS project. I think we can start answering some questions if there are any questions, of course. Nick?
Yes. First, I have a question for the audience. If they want to fill in a poll, because now you learned a whole lot more about urban gardening projects, and I'm quite curious how it is in your cities. So please answer the poll. I'm quite curious what the answers will be. Yeah, unfortunately, you can vote. You already told us everything.
Sorry, maybe I was too long. Sorry for the audience. And too intense.
Always happens, no problem. First questions are coming in. Yeah, is Christiana also going to give her part of the talk, or did you did the entire presentation now?
Christiana, would you like to talk a little bit or to present? Okay. She's here. Christiana is here with me. But if there are specific questions for her as the mind of the project, anybody can ask directly and specifically to her.
Great, perfect. So questions are coming in. It's nice to see that there are a lot of positive answers so far. Let's wait for a little bit longer that everybody had the chance to vote. Okay, in 7 seconds, I will finish the poll. And
okay.
share with all of you the results.
Okay. Oh.
So as you can see, do you think that the urban gardening project could bring an added value to the urban landscape in your city? So that's anonymous. Everybody thinks it's an addition, so that's great. Do you have a sense of what community garden in your city, where individuals could have their plot, could grow their own vegetables? So they all see the need of it, and there is some, so they think it's an added value to the city. They think there's a need for it, so that's a very good business case for urban gardening projects. Also to include children is positive. And then question 4, if they use recycled materials. And there I split it up in 4 options. So yes, most of the people use recycled materials for their urban gardening project. So that's quite a good way to think sustainable about the future and also educate the young about this. And other people, so that's 30% of people, still use recycled materials, but the city does not support it. So this could also be quite interesting for the questions to see why they don't support it. So please ask them, quite curious about it. And there's also an urban gardening project that does not use recycled materials, but the city would support it. So it's great that the city would at least support it in that sense. And question 5, have you thought about composting food waste and use compost for your gardening, community garden? Yeah, 90% of the people thought about it. And for the one who didn't think about it, it might be a good addition to it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. You and Christiana are looking forward to answer them, and otherwise I have some questions of my own that I would like to ask you.
Any question is welcomed. So be bold.
everything is clear.
So you did a great job, it seems. A lot is clear. So in the meantime, I have a question for you. You
Yes.
mentioned the energy that children bring through projects and the great addition that it has. Can you give an example of how this affected the urban gardening project and also the support for this project?
Energia copiilor implicată în...
N-am înțeles întrebarea.
Cum fructifică energia copiilor, știi, adusă în gardening?
I think
Philosophic.
I think it's a very philosophic question, but a fair one because I was philosophic in my presentation. I think this energy that people that children is bringing to urban gardening is some kind of fuel in what are we planning to do for the greener part of the city in the future. We have to start with the basics always, and children's with their fresh minds and not, let's say, I don't know if this is a politically correct term, with their non-polluted minds, grown-ups minds, they with their innocence and with their satisfaction they have from the spring to autumn to see their harvesting, to see the results and the seed in the same time, and to connect the seed with the last part of the autumn where they are harvesting what they are growing. I think this energy they are bringing into the life of the city is very, very important, and we can use it to create more and more spaces of this type in the cities. The cities need these kind of initiatives in order to bring more and more children and to grow a community of people very sustainable, very, very careful with the nature, very careful with their food, very careful with the needs they will have in the future.
Great, thank you. And you already see this happening already in the city, that new projects are starting to spin off. There's a good support for it, and that kids are thinking about it more sustainably.
I think so.
Great, good to hear that. Anna also had a question. So how many children participated in the activities?
2,116 to be
wow, that's
specific.
Specific and quite a lot.
Quite a lot, yes.
The
yes.
total population of Alba Iulia, it's not bad.
Yes, yes, it is not bad. We have 20 schools at the city level, and they are very, very engaging. And we have some teachers that we are inviting them to be in there, to be a part of this project, and they are very, very open to this kind of proposals.
Great. Is it also difficult to organize it for so many people?
No, I don't think the custodian of the yes, but the participation, the effective presence in the urban garden was in small groups, in classes, in classroom segmented pupils, let's say, not 2,000 in the same time, but it's a great thing that we have the support of the teachers and the principals of the schools in this idea and in these initiatives. If we I don't know, if we were rejected by the principals in the first, by the directors in the first line, and then in the second line by the teachers, the project wouldn't be a success.
Yeah, but, it's the same as Tilburg. It's so important to have key figures in schools
yes,
to work together.
Yes.
With.
Yes.
Yeah. I have another question. So what will be done if you harvest? Besides the dinner that you were talking about, because there's probably more than one meal?
The people which already have plots,
Hi.
they can hello Nick. They can have the vegetables and have a food home, or we have a manager of the garden, and she's doing dinners most of the times when we have vegetables and fruits. So yeah, basically we'll have events around this year, and people can also come and they can talk with the manager and they can take the food home.
Great, good.
Especially if they have a plot there and they work in the garden.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's also that community really actively contributes to the garden,
Yeah.
but it gives back.
Yes, yes.
And what are crops that are doing really well?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. The pollinization.
Yeah, I don't know the word in English.
I don't know the word in English. Pollinization made by bees.
Yeah,
So
pollinization.
it's made in house.
Okay.
Specific, yes. The manager of the garden managed to create some spaces for the bees and for insects. But let's say everything is done in house in there. So the bees that are growing in that space are also pollinizing the plants in the Gradinescu garden.
Okay.
There are some spaces dedicated to them, very weird spaces, like it's in a sci-fi movie somehow, but very, very interesting. And children are fascinated about that.
Yeah, that's
With
what I love
boxes.
about working with children as well. They're fascinated by the most basic things in their childlike
Yes,
imagination. It's amazing to watch.
yes, yes.
I have another question for you too, actually. The first one. We can go and relax can you go to the garden anytime and relax there, or only at certain events?
No. You can go there during the events, of course, but if you want to go there, you have to announce the manager. We have there the contact, email, and phone of the manager, so you can just talk with her, and she will organize something if you really want to know, to see the garden and or to have a plot, or yeah. But we wouldn't like that people just go there, because yeah, we want to take care of the garden and to.
Yeah. It would suck if all your crops get stolen overnight.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Another question: is the land owned by the city?
Yes, of the city of Alba Iulia, yes, the municipality, yeah.
And why was the choice made to make that owned by the municipality? Because you could probably also do it commercially, maybe.
Oh no.
No, yeah, we needed a space just to be inside the citadel. So yeah, the mayor agreed to have there the garden, and it's very well situated, and it was voted in the local council by the local councillors.
Yeah.
So that was the procedure.
Great. Do you also see more opportunities for urban gardens in Alba Iulia?
Yeah, I think in the courtyards of schools, I think that this will be the next step for Alba Iulia, to have at some schools small urban gardens.
Yeah. And then at the courtyards or at the parking lots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I don't see any questions coming in at this point. If you have a question, please ask me. I will love to tell you more about it than they do as well. If there aren't any questions, I still have a survey for you to evaluate this webinar, because we always want to learn. So I'll put the link in the chat. You can open it. Also, later on, we will send you an email with the recording of this webinar, with the presentation, and I will send you the link again, because a lot of people forget to fill it in the first time. Please do so. We need the info. And I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now is the time to ask. If not, I'm gonna thank the presenters and wish you all a very good day. No questions coming in. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you also.
You did well, and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. You too. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.